Welcome to Lopez Tonight. Orale, tonight. The only place on TV where my audience is a performance-enhancing drug. Orale. Yeah. Except that fool right there. That looks like a depressant. You all right? Can I get you a Zyrtec? An inhaler? Hey, now that my show is allegedly successful. Allegedly. It's not allegedly successful. This show is badass. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's gacho when white dudes can't hold a job down and Chicano shows up every day on time. My wife, está loca, she said, maybe we can get a bigger house. I said, yeah, go ahead. You can't leave me this one. But take the dogs with you, please. You know how long I've been married? My wife says hello to the dog first. That's gotcha. Of course, the dogs run to the door when she gets home. I look like that. Oh. No, you know what? I said the same thing that Conan O'Brien said to NBC. I like it here. I'm not moving. I thought Conan O'Brien was hearing that. The red hair right there threw me out. We got a spy. Because she kept going like this. Conan O'Brien sent a letter to NBC. Why did he send a letter? See, only that white people can send a letter to say that he's unhappy. A Mexican would just walk in and tell him, I'm not moving, eh? Hey, tell him I'm not moving. And then take another guy behind you and tell him, Gilbert, hey, he's not moving. He's in the car, he was very adamant. You know, all you get is a report to the back. There's a Mexican in the lobby and he does not appear to be happy. We would yell, so I know you can hear me. I'm not moving. I'm not. Conan O'Brien sent a letter saying he wouldn't move to 12:05 to make room for Jay Leno at 11:35, which I don't understand because Latinos have no problems being told to come into work a half hour later. What? Right? And apparently black people either. These dudes are like, hey. That's right. I'll even call the boss. I got one better. How about if I don't even show up at all? How about if I only show up in spirit? Hey, how about? You have to ask your buddy to help you out. You know, I can't go, man. Go get my check. I called in sick. You ever been in the lobby of the place you work and you send your friend, hey, go get my check, eh? I called in sick and then somebody you know walks by. Conan tried to set the record straight by adding that the speculation that he was in talks with other networks was not true. Huh? Sounded like he was drunk, huh? Tell him that I'm speculating that I'm not... Tell him that I'm speculating that I'm not in negotiations with any other companies at this particular juncture. But he also added that he wanted to say, hey, if anybody's hiring, let him know. That he's available to take any spot. That's how low down he is. Hey, I'll take any spot. You're better than that. Hey, you take any spot. You'll be watching Judge Judy and you'll hear her say, stick around for Conan. Conan O'Brien would make a good ShamWow guy, right? From ShamWow, the dudes that go hyper. He's got the hairs. He'd make a good ShamWow guy because the original ShamWow guy got crazy and punched a prostitute. Toma, cabrona, paz. Punch. Everybody should have known he was crazy. If you think you can clean the house with one rag, your ass is crazy. Even Latinos are like, you need 2 t-shirts or probably a double X. To sum it up, it's like this. NBC is the wife that leaves her boring husband, finally gets a good man, then dumps the good man and go back to the dude that choked her out at a barbecue. Look at all the ladies. They're not clapping for that. That's, he's right. He's right, because one time I was at a quinceañera, he grabbed my hair. And I left with him. I left. And they told me, Sonia, don't go. But I was all in love. I still have deadness in this one area back there. Finally, there has been a Tiger Woods sighting. Finally. I knew he was going to get hungry and go back to Perkins. If not just for the biscuits alone. Everything else you get there, that's just gravy. You do that this is when you want people to know. This is when you don't want people to know. That's the trick. Tiger Woods has checked into an Arizona sex rehab clinic. Huh? Rehab as what? As what? The guest speaker? What I live? He probably went in there lying. Hey, I'm just a social banger. They put him on the social banger plan. It's like a side plan, you know. You don't check in, they just give you like a day room. A little soap for after. It's like cleaning your fundido with a chiclet. You ever seen a little soap? You ever seen a little soaps? It's always when you stay in the low budget hotels, you got a little soap and you're washing yourself. And you know how you get the soap off? Oh, there it is. The rehab clinic is on a reservation in Arizona. I think it's the tribe, the No-Have-Ho. Remember this guy?
Lalo the Palo Montenegro. Where did you get this?
At work. You were written up for dating him at the same time you were with Dad.
Oh, for crap's sake. Lalo and I were just good friends. It was right before Manny and I were going to get married. We were fighting all the time. I turned to Lalo for comfort. We never once...
Oh, what?
Well, there was this one night I got real mad at your dad for coming home drunk. I grabbed a bottle of tequila and ran over to Lalo's. And then we sort of snuck into the factory. We ended up fooling around on the manager's desk.
I eat off that desk.
And then somehow we ended up in the break room, and I remember we were crashing into chairs, rolling on the ground, and then I was lifted up onto something.
Okay, Mom. Did you sleep with him?
No. I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't remember. It was a big bottle of tequila.
Well, I think you did. Because this guy's got my eyes, my hair, and my nose.
This is crazy. Manny's your dad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see then.
Okay.
Tell me. Lalo, Manny. Manny, Lalo.
Huh.
Forget it. I'll find Lalo and ask him.
Wait. A mother knows the father of her own baby.
So who is it then?
One potato, two
Get
potatoes.
that
Joe?
Benny, I'm ready to settle our bet. I brought you your money.
Well, where are you keeping it? In your neck wallet? What the hell is that thing?
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Look, I didn't come here to fight. I came to make peace with my only sister. I got your money.
That's 10. You owe me 20.
I still don't think I owe you anything, but I'm willing to meet you halfway. So take the 10.
No, it's 20 or nothing.
Look, why can't you just call it even so we can bury the hatchet?
You know, speaking of hatchet, Joe, you might want to...
You know, I don't give a crap about the $20, okay? You cheated me. Of course, I should have known better to let my brother be my bookie.
I did not cheat you.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you
no,
did.
No, I didn't.
Joe.
Look, Mom, what fell out of Joe's pocket? It's a 20. See there, problem solved. Now kiss and make up.
I'm not taking it unless he gives it to me.
I'm not giving it to you.
Joe, that's my 20.
No, it isn't.
Oh, come on, man, it is.
No, it isn't.
See? You see how he is, George?
Forget it. You're never going to change. You're the same nasty, bitter woman you've always been, except now you're an inch shorter.
Well, screw you and the bump that rode in on you.
See? It's time to start school.
Oh, come on, Mom. We don't need to start this early. Most teachers have 30 students, and that means we only need 1/30 of a normal school day. And you can teach me how to figure that out after lunch. Bye-bye.
Carmen, when I ring this bell, I am not your mom. I am your teacher. Now sit down. Okay, we've got English, history, lunch. Algebra 2, chemistry, then if the delivery guy gets here with our plastic flutes, music class.
You can't be serious. This is going to be like real school.
Well, if you don't like it, there's always St. Teresa's.
We've been waiting for you, my child.
Well, I'm off to real school, where no one can force me to learn. See ya, sucker.
Hey, we can homeschool you too, huh? How'd you like to go to the prom in the garage with your sister?
Are you kidding? She's the kind of girl you meet after prom, when you drop your real date off.
Hello there. It's just me and the world's best tasting vodka.
Hey guys, welcome to again Off the Dribble with your boy Byron Scott. My guest today is my boy. This is my golf buddy. He's one of these brothers that you can call at any time, and he's there for you. And I got to tell you a little bit about a few years ago where he really was there for me.
Such a lonely
really
life
hurting.
I lived, though. You know, when somebody
My
can
boy,
be there,
George Lopez. That's all I want to say.
when
My boy
somebody's
George
there
Lopez.
100% of the time, they got shit else to do except wait for the bat signal in the sky.
George, before we get into your career and everything that you've done, there was a very, very tough time for both of us a few years ago.
Yeah, man.
When our buddy, Kobe Bryant, passed away. And this man, I took like 2 weeks where I wouldn't talk to nobody. And George sent me a text and said, B, I know you're hurting, but let's go play some golf or something. And I remember getting back to George. I said, George, give me another week or so. Because I was just in pain. A couple of weeks went by. I called George. I said, man, I'm ready. Let's get out and play golf. It was about a 7-hour round because we let everybody go through. We made stops. We had drinks. We celebrated Kobe Bryant's life and his achievements. And I don't think I ever got a chance to say thank you, George, because, I really appreciated that, man, and it was awesome of you to give me that call.
Well, thank you for being there for me, too, because it's, my daughter called me and said, I just like, what happened?
Yeah.
And it's, places stay forever, monuments and things in Europe you can see around the world, but that guy to us in LA and to just was a monument. And I think that he will be remembered, everybody's remembered forever, but remembered every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when somebody's really important, when you remember them every day.
Yeah.
And the happy thing about all of that is that, he had an amazing impact on a lot of people, and he did it off the court with like humor, man.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a funny guy, and he was a sweet guy, that. And he was a guy that, the Mamba mentality is a great, just a great 2 words to go together. It's like somebody's will,
Mm-hmm.
but to see somebody that did what he did and walked it and talked it. And I went to a lot of Friday night games, and they always come down to the last shot. And he made a lot of them, but the ones that he missed, nobody went, oh, he missed it. And everybody was like, okay, we didn't win. Right. But he made more than he missed. But when he missed one, nobody was disappointed.
Yeah.
And that says a lot about somebody's ability.
Yeah, you was almost shocked when he missed one. You know what I'm saying? Because he was so great at making them. And he would make them if it was 1-on-1, 2-on-1. He didn't care if they brought a double team. He was that type of guy where he was willing to be the hero just like he was willing to be the GOAT.
Absolutely.
And that's that Mamba mentality that we talk about. But before we get going a little bit more, got to say thank you again, George, for coming out, my brother.
Cheers, man.
We're going to have a good time. Little Neff vodka in here, y'all.
Wow, that's good.
Ain't that good?
Yeah, that's really good.
So, George, let's start off this way. I want to talk to you because you've done so much. You've accomplished so many things in the entertainment world. You one of my funniest friends I've ever been around.
Thank you.
I love playing golf with this man because we have 18 holes of laughter.
Yeah,
we might get some bad shots, but we're gonna have 18 holes of laughter.
Listen, man, you're a professional athlete. I played golf because of my temperament and, golf. I didn't want to get remarried, so I didn't want somebody telling me all my faults. So I'll let golf decide what's wrong with me. So, if you cheat, you're cheating yourself.
Yeah,
if you quit, you're a quitter. If you write the wrong score down, if you're not gracious to people, if you don't say hello, and which all the things in life that are easy to do.
Right.
So it was a way for me to see what people had said about me, criticisms about me, even when I was younger, and for me to realize when there was nobody else around and nobody to blame, that those were the real issues that I had about writing down the wrong score, integrity, cheating, moving the ball, and all of those things are someone's real life. It brings it out. So, it changed my life. And then, I used to get really mad and throw a club or something, I'm no Reggie Bush, but that dude.
Reggie be throwing them all over the place, don't he?
Listen, man, I played in Cedric's golf tournament and clubs were flying all over the place.
And then Cedric called my house and said, hey, have you seen a club in your bag? Reggie's missing a club. I said, have you checked in the trees and in the bushes? I mean, you throw a club, man. If you throw a club, that says a lot about when you want to throw one and you don't, now you're starting to internalize your things and to be better.
There you go.
And that's what golf has done for me. Like, I play pretty good. I play all those pro-ams. I mean, I can play good. I putt good. Short game's good. But I play for the temperament and the peace. Why does somebody go to the beach and watch a sunset? Because they go for the peace. And there's a tranquility in that. And for me, there's tranquility in golfing and, being a member at that club and knowing that most of the other Latinos that are there are like the service staff and all those guys. That means a lot to me too.
Yeah, no, I mean, and first of all, it's a great track, great club.
Yeah,
and I appreciate the invites when we get a chance to play.
But you remember, we've known each other a long time, and
yes, we have.
The Lakers have meant so much to me in my life, and you as a player in the '80s was a time when I spent a lot of time alone, and my grandparents were still alive, and I was such a fan, but I was always alone, that in those Boston Celtics or in those championships, in those finals, when it got down to the crunch time, I would go outside. Like an expectant father would leave the room. I can't take it anymore. Outside smoking a cigarette. I couldn't take it.
Really?
I'm not playing.
So when you would go outside, you would go out to get away from watching the game because it was coming down to the nitty gritty, and you couldn't stand to see what was going to happen.
I couldn't watch.
Wow.
I would go outside in the backyard and I'd walk around, and then I would come back in and they would say they won. Oh, they won, all right. I said, oh, they lost. The pass that Magic threw across the court, I was outside.
Yeah,
I was outside when it happened.
Don't remind me.
But I was, I would say to myself, like, what's going to happen? I didn't know until later. Is that what's going to happen is going to happen, whether I was watching or not.
Right.
But at that point, and it's a lot to do with Mexicans. You ever see Mexicans go to the church? The ones that are sitting in the back still want it to count, but they don't want the Lord that close. Like, they're like, listen, man, I do a lot of things in my life that aren't.
I do a lot of shit, so I don't want to sit too close.
Don't go in this place, but I'm going to still go. But I'm going to sit way in the back. Where the place they don't even go with the money thing. Like, I probably got no money sitting back there. So I just go in the back. You still get credit for going, but you're not as close to the gospel as somebody would feel comfortable enough.
Well, you stupid.
So
listen. So
I cussed in church one time, and
did you really?
Man.
Like more than one person heard you?
Yes.
I mean, okay. So a few people heard you.
And those movies where they go, all the heads turn, and it makes a sound, and every head. And I said, what? I said, man, you cussed in church. No. And
so you almost did it again.
I almost did, man. I was like, I can't believe I cussed in church. And then my grandma, that was it for me. My grandma said, hey, come over here and tell when you cussed in church. That's a long time ago. But yeah, nobody should cuss in church.
No, I agree with you there. So how did you get started in the comedy? Where did was you like doing shows at the house for the family? How did you get started in comedy?
Man, that's a good question. Let's see. I think at first you have to be ignored. So my biological family was not a close family, and they ignored me a lot. My mom was not married, and my dad took off, and I was insignificant from even before I was born. So much less, and my mom was not well health-wise. She had epilepsy, and she had, a couple of things that made people believe that before I was born that I was going to be, and listen, I've never said this word before, never told a story before. They thought I was going to be an imbecile. That's what they said. An imbecile. So they wouldn't hold me, and they wouldn't kind of look after me because they thought that I was going to get what she had. And the word imbecile is pretty harsh, man. And as a kid, my grandmother would sit, they would say to my grandmother, or when my mom was around when I was young, they would say, don't tell him that. And my grandmother would say, well, how else is he going to find out? If I don't tell, I mean, the things
Grandmothers
that were said in anger. Listen, nobody bullshits in anger.
Right.
So when somebody's angry and they're yelling at you. It's
coming from the heart.
Everything
is coming from the heart.
Listen, when somebody's shooting you with a gun, all those bullets have intention. When somebody's saying, "Listen, I don't know where that guy is. I don't know who your father is. And you ever thought you're gonna be in over there, want to hold you, and and your mom it takes off, and they can't find her for weeks, and you're just like a 6-year-old kid, man. You're like, I'm 6, but I don't think I need to hear all this." So we went to court when I was 7 to have my father declared legally dead.
Really?
So my mom was not the smartest woman. So my grandmother said, now here's another one I never told anybody. My grandmother said, "Mira, Frida, look at me and I'll tell you what to answer." So she goes
court.
In court.
Okay.
In LA, the municipal court.
Wow.
Mira, look at me and I'll tell you what to answer. And she gets up there and she puts her hand up and she gets into the thing and they say, are you seeking the sole custody of George Lopez? And my mom looks and my grandmother says, and she goes, "No."
I thought she was supposed to answer her.
She said, and she goes, "No." And then she's like, "Frida!" And she looks and she goes, "Yes." Was it no or yes? Now you have, is it no or yes? And then now somebody who's not that smart has to pick between no and yes, like with no help. So she said yes. But for a minute there, it was like, what the fuck's going on, man? Like, and she had to answer the other questions on her own without, because they knew my grandmother was helping her.
Right.
So that was, listen, man, that was rough.
Wow.
That was, sorry about your ears, dude. but yeah. So it's like that. So that's how you start, like, in the humor, I think that I had good guys that I went to school with, and they all lived kind of in that 3-block radius of the guys that are still my friends. But when I was, I started playing baseball. I wasn't even 7 yet, and my grandma signed me up for baseball. And then you go to the tryouts, and I was already playing baseball as like a little kid, I guess. And then they went to this recreational center in San Fernando. They were picking teams. I was the last guy picked. And then the guy says, "But last but not least," and then they picked me. And I was on a team 1 up. Like, I was, for my age, I should have been on the lower end. I was 1 up.
Got you.
So when I was going to practice with that team, the White Sox, they wanted me to be a catcher. And I wasn't even 7, and I was giving the coach a hard time about me being a catcher. And I was already complaining, and I was already saying, I don't want to be a catcher. And he sent me down to the farm, and that team never lost a game, and they won the championship. And in my whole career playing baseball, I never won a championship. And for me, I thought it was because of me being an asshole at 7 and getting sent down, that I was punished for not being a fair sport or understanding that sometimes everybody has to play a part on a team.
You play a role. Yeah.
And the coach told me that. It's like, hey, listen, man, everybody has a position to play, and yours is catcher. And I just bitched so much that he sent me down. And then I went down to the Bears, and Alex Garcia, that boxer that boxed probably 20 years ago, he was on my team. And I remember tagging a guy out at second base, and I was catching. So imagine the catcher running across from home plate
to second
base.
Yeah.
And that's how bad that team was, that I had to go as the catcher and tag
you couldn't
a guy
throw
out
it to the guy at the second base.
He wouldn't have caught it. So I ran across the field to tag him out at second base in full catcher's gear. So I should have stayed a catcher because I was pretty good. But then, my grandparents and I, went to a lot of Dodger games, and the guys that I grew up with were funny, and I was funny around them, but I was shy. I think if you're going to be a good comedian or good at anything, you have to have a lot of things wrong with you in the beginning. So being shy and around other people, but being funny around my friends was at least an opening to something for the future. But finding comedy, I think, through the Tonight Show and through sitcoms, watching Sanford and Son, and watching Chico and the Man, and Cheech and Chong albums, Richard Pryor albums, and George Carlin, and all those things. And then, when I was in junior high, my friend Ernie went to another school, and he said, "Hey, there's a guy at Kennedy High School, and he's going to the Comedy Store on Monday nights, and he's doing stand-up." And I'm like, he goes, "We ought to go down there." So in 79, June 4th of 1979, I was still in high school, getting ready to graduate. And I went over there and performed for the first time.
Wow. So how was that? I mean, because you're still in high school. Because I was going to ask you, where'd you get your start? But this seems like a little bit of a start because you're going to do stand-up for the first time out of high school. And then from there, I want you to tell me the experience of doing that. How was that first? And then from there, when did you get your first job as a comedian?
First job, at the Ice House in Pasadena, you could do, if you brought people, you could make like $1 a person, So,
so as many people in the audience
like
as how much you get?
$7.
Oh,
yeah. And in 1987, before my grandfather died, I was on TV just for maybe 40 seconds, one joke in this kind of like laughing kind of reboot. And my grandfather saw me. And my grandfather really never had anything good to say about me. But one time I was on a Sunday, they had went to eat with some friends. And when they came back, I had a picture there from the Ice House. And then the guy said, "Who's this?" And he goes, my grandfather said, "Oh, that's my grandson. He's trying to be a comedian." And the guy said, "Is he funny?" And he says, "No, but, he's just starting."
What great support, right?
I thought that was the beginning, what could have been the beginning of a compliment.
Right.
So even through those track home walls, I could hear. But he never said anything really good to me. So I think, as sad as it is and as debilitating and as much as it hurts, if you stay down, then you stay down. And whatever it was in me, man, that made me get up, I knew I didn't want to stay down.
Yeah.
And not that those guys that I grew up with were nobodies.
Right.
I just said to somebody, I wanted to be somebody more than I wanted to be nobody. And, I never expected much of a career because, I always say, when you look like Mario Lopez, you can make it. But when you look like me, you got to be talented. So for that, I just, at some point, I quit. One time I was at this place called the Natural Fudge in Hollywood. And they made you buy like a sandwich in there. So it's a natural food store. So they bring me like a sandwich with sprouts and avocado, and this is like in the early 80s, 80, 81. And they did comedy on a Monday night, and I bombed so bad. Imagine waiting 3 hours and then bombing. It's like, and you couldn't let me bomb at 8:15. You had to let me bomb after waiting 3 hours. And when I was driving home, right at the 170 and Roscoe on the way north to where I live with my grandmother, I started crying in the car. And I said, I'm done. Like, I can't do this. I'm not good at it. It hurts. I've had it. And then I went home and I took a shower. My grandma says, why are you taking a shower so late? And I was just, I'm taking a shower. And I took a shower because I wanted to wash off whatever had gotten on me from that experience of just eating it big time.
I understand that.
And I took a shower.
Yeah.
And then in the morning when I got up, I said I wasn't going to quit and I was going to keep going.
Yeah.
So
I want to ask you this though, Joyce, because every time we play golf, like I said, we have a unbelievable time of laughing. We laugh the whole time. Tell them call you back.
I know, man. Let me turn this off. Sorry.
That's all right. We have an unbelievable time of just laughter, right? And you tell some of the unbelievable stories, some of the greatest stories about your grandmother.
Right.
So kind of tell me, obviously she means the world to you, but just tell me how she has helped you from your childhood to this particular point, because I love the stories on the golf course when you start talking about her.
Man, God, there's so many. When my first show started, Time Magazine wrote a thing on me, the one page in like the showbiz part of the back of Time. And it said that that I should consider my grandmother my muse because of me using her in the show and using her in the stand-up to make a living for myself. So the guy goes, I don't know if he's aware that, you know, this woman is the muse that he has, but she, you know, she had a hard life. She had dementia, and she was at the hospital. So they told me, that, yeah, your grandma's in the hospital. So I go to Holy Cross in Mission Hills, and she has dementia. And she's in this little room, and I walk in, and she had a way of looking at me that was like just a threatening way. So she's laying in the bed, and I walk in, and I'm standing right there, and she's looking at me like this. And I'm like, to myself, I'm like, is my grandmother throwing me hard looks? Right. So I look at her, I'm like this. So she's looking at me, and I'm looking at her like that. And my grandmother goes like that too. I mean, come on, man. Come on.
Now, how old was she at this time?
85.
Wanted to make sure you didn't flinch on her.
Oh my God! What the, I mean, come on, man. A lady with dementia like that. But my grandmother was. She, you know, they wore abuse like, you know, like if it was a banner, you know, like I was with this guy 19 years and he beat me, and I stayed for my kids, and I said, why do you stay for your kids? Why don't you go to a hotel? And she goes, you don't know nothing. I didn't have any money. I said, hotels were like a dime back then. Shut up, you know. So she didn't want any kind of opinion about her life, you know. So my grandfather on Fridays, he'd get off early sometimes. You know, they'd finish early, you know, and he wouldn't get out of the truck right away. And my grandma would look through the window.
He's scared to go in the house?
They're drinking in the car for hours. Go tell them to come in. I walk out there. I go, Grandma wants you to come inside. They like to wait. All right. So I say, he told me to tell you to wait. So what did he say? So she started to make chile, like, you know, that was her retaliation. So they had that mocajete, that thing, and the stone grinder, and because he would eat when he was drunk before he went to bed. So she said, you know, if I make this chile really hot, it's my way of getting back to him. I can't poison him. I can't go out, and it's no wonder that she didn't go out there and say, get your ass inside.
Right. So
she would be grinding this chili, and I would come from baseball practice, and I would come through the cul-de-sac there, and I would see the truck there, and I'd see him inside, like at 8:30. And I would say, uh-oh. So I already knew. So I'd open the gate, and I would take 3 steps, maybe 20 feet from the house, and that chili would be in the air. And before I would walk into the house, I would go, it was just in the air. Because when it's so hot, you can't stand around. And my grandmother would be inside, and I'd go, and she would say, he doesn't want to come inside, man. And she's just like grinding this thing, man. So her retaliation was chile for him, and she just never pulled any punches, man. And you know, the first day of my show, like, you grow up and you want to be a comedian, and she knows. And it's a long shoot because the first show is always long, you know. And then I look over there, and she's kind of looking off outside. We're going down the 5 freeway, and she's kind of wandering off, like looking off. And I'm like, at least say something to me, like, you know, I got this show.
Right.
So I said, literally, man, you got to believe me. I said, what do you think, Grandma? And she goes, you want to know? And I said, yeah, I want to know. And she says, if I would have known it was going to take this long, I would have stayed home. I mean, come on, man. Your whole life, man. Right? I don't know if take this long, I would have stayed home. And, you know, my mom character was based off my grandmother.
I was about to ask.
And my grandmother watches the show, and she goes, And I said, what do you think? She goes, hey, you made me nice. That's what she said. Everybody said.
Because I was going to ask you that. The George Lopez show.
Yeah.
Yo, which I
almost 20 years now.
Yeah, I loved that show. I mean, I used to watch that show, and I was like, all right, I'm wondering, because we knew each other. And I'm wondering, is this but we didn't talk about our upbringing and things of that nature. So I was wondering if that show was based on your upbringing, a little bit of the family.
Totally.
That was kind of intertwined into that whole thing. But it was also one of the first, if I'm not mistaken, one of the first Mexican sitcoms on a major network at the time.
You know, there's a couple of things. You know, I was selling out a bunch of shows at the amphitheater. Like, I think I sold out 22 in a row. And they came and wrote an article in the Daily News about me. And I had never thought about what this guy wrote. This guy said that, you know, George Lopez pays homage to the people that inspired him, you know, Freddie Prinze and Richard Pryor. But Richard Pryor or Freddie Prinze never sold those amount of tickets to have people come and see him. But he still does. But I still pay homage to those guys.
Right,
like Richard
right.
Pryor toured, but he you know, it's back then. So in
Right.
comparison, but it's like I still pay respect to the people that came before me when to that writer had passed them. But I would never consider myself better than those guys. But in those shows, what was I going to say? So that was one example. And then in the history of television, you know, I Love Lucy, Desi Arnaz was the husband, but not in the title. Chico and the Man with Freddie Prinze was a co-star, not in the title. I'm the only person in the history of television who's Latino who's led a show and it's named after him. So it's higher than those guys. But I still, you know, think of it as, you know, it's like not as important. But, you know, Freddie Prinze, when the 100th episode of my show was coming, Johnny Grant, who used to be the mayor of Hollywood, he said, you know, I was at another star ceremony. He said, I think it's time we put you in the Walk of Fame. And I said, I'm not going in until Freddie Prinze goes in.
Wow.
And he looks at his assistant. He says, Freddie Prinze is in, isn't it? She says, I don't know. I said, no, he's not. We'll check and we'll get back to you. So they got back to me and they said, he's not in, but if you want to nominate him, we can put him in. And I said, yeah, I want to put him in. And I paid the money for the star. I think it was $10,000. And then the day of the ceremony, you know, Kathy, Freddie Prinze Jr., the people, Dusty Snyder, who was with him in the room when he committed suicide, and all the friends that Freddie had, even some from New York, were all there. Della Reese was there, and all these great people, man. And then Freddie Jr., I see him over there on the phone, and he walks up to me and he goes, hey, my grandma wants to talk to you, which is Freddie's mom. And she was in Puerto Rico. And I said, hello? And she goes, oh, George, you know, thank you so much for being so loving to my Freddie. She said, my Freddie. Thank you for being a fan of my Freddie and for being loving to my Freddie. And then she said, if my Freddie was alive, you and my Freddie would be best friends. And I was like, oh my God, man, this is like tough. So we did the ceremony, man, and Junior was very emotional, you know, and at the unveiling of the star. But for a dude that had zero integrity, zero credibility, zero ability to tell the truth, and zero care for anybody else but myself, I grew up to have eliminated all of those things from my life. I'm not who I was when I was 25. I'm not who I was when I was 15. And at 60, I'm a person that I never would have imagined I would be.
Man, you know what? I think we both there, because I never would imagine me being who I am right now.
Thank
You know what I
man.
mean, George?
Cheers to that.
So listen, guys, we're going to take a quick little break. We'll be right back with a little bit more of my boy, George Lopez, and we'll talk a little bit more again about his career and where he is today and what's up next for him. We'll be right back. Black Widow is a conglomerate of attorneys and investigators that are community-based. They started from a personal traumatic loss that turned into a platform for human dignity and rights. Black Widow always finds ways to eradicate the wrongs and produce positive results beyond all boundaries, and they always pay it forward. Black Widow can handle any and all legal matters, including motorcycle injuries, car accidents, trips and falls, criminal matters, family law, workers' compensation, and restraining orders, and more. In all industries where money rules and basics give rights are overcome by greed, we strive to make it about humanity by repeatedly educating and informing the masses of their rights. If you have ever felt frustrated or anger that you have been done wrong, that's the fire that fuels Black Widow. When you are done listening to all the rest, call Black Widow for the blunt truth. Call 818-599-3613. Again, that's 818-599-3613. Or you can find us on Instagram at BlackWidow_investigation. Right. Welcome back to Off the Dribble. Your boy B. Scott is here. And again, I'm with my boy George Lopez. We've been having a great time, just
pretty good.
Talking about the old days, talking about golf, talking about all the things that we love. I want to get to now the George Lopez show.
Yeah.
And how that came upon you.
Man.
And then, man, I mean, that thing, took off as well and lasted for a long time. And then I want to also know, why did you kind of stop?
Okay.
I know you wanted to go in different directions. I know how you are. You're artistic. You want to do other things. But let's talk about the George Lopez show.
First of all, I never thought that I would have my own show. Mm-hmm. And then you grow up watching Johnny Carson. Mm-hmm. And I was in Las Vegas, I think 1989, in the summer of 89 or 90. Johnny Carson was going to retire. Mm. And, I love Willy Wonka, like growing up, So in the USA Today, in the Life section, there's a comedian on the cover story, this guy Ron Schock, I think he passed away. And in the article, it says that before Johnny leaves, they're going to have 6 new comedians on. Mm. So I'm in Vegas in the Maxim Nowhere Going show. And I remember reading that, and I remember thinking, man, it's like Willy Wonka, man. Like, there's 6 golden tickets out there. Mm-hmm. Like, who's going to get them? Mm-hmm. Never thinking I would get one. So I was at the Improv one night, and the talent booker for the Tonight Show sees me and says, hey, put some stuff together, man, and call me in a week. And I was like, wow, it's not going to happen, man. So I put some stuff together. I worked all week. I'd fall asleep on the notes and get up and then do them again and fall asleep and get up. Worked on a week. So he says, come to my office. So I go to his office, and he goes, are you ready? And I'm like, am I ready? And he goes, yeah. He's sitting behind the desk. He goes, show me your stuff. I was like,
that's on the spot.
And I did it, with no laughter. The guy didn't laugh. I'm talking, the guy's looking at me. Say another one is looking at me. He's like, When I was done, he goes, congratulations, you got the Tonight Show.
Are you serious?
Yeah. He just made sounds. He goes, you didn't laugh. He goes, hey, if I make a sound, that's like a laugh. Because I've had people up here at complete silence. And Bill Cosby bumped me in 91, and then I thought it was going to go away because there was stories about guys getting bumped and then never getting called back. So I got bumped, and then the next day they called, and I was on the next week. So in a sense, that was kind of like a beginning. But for the George Lopez show, I was drinking a lot from 95 to 99. I was on the road a lot, and I was going nowhere, and I was drinking a lot. I think my wife had kicked me out of the house. I was living in this apartment that we hadn't sold yet, some condo, sleeping on an air mattress. And then mine was probably like 4. And in the crib, I didn't dismantle the crib when we left because it was still there. Mm-hmm. So I had to see the empty room with a crib in there. And I'm sleeping on the I remember I bought a toaster, and I'm like, can I afford to buy a toaster? And I just was like, man, this is like nowhere. I'm nowhere. And I used to worry about what everybody else was doing. And then in that condo there, empty, I started thinking, you know what, man, I'm going to worry less about what everybody's doing. I'm just going to worry about myself. Because I'm worried about everybody else, and look where I am. I'm living in this thing. And people would see me, and they go, I thought you moved. I was like, oh, no, we're doing some work up here, renovations. I fill up the mattress every night. But when I did that, things started to, you could feel a change. But also, I was at the Capital City Comedy Club, and Chappelle had been there the week before, and Sandra Bullock had come to see Chappelle. Sandra Bullock had a house in Austin, Texas. And then the manager comes to me after the first show and goes, hey, man, I got a call. I think Sandra Bullock's coming to the show. And I knew that I was not in condition or even professional enough as a comedian. I was drinking on stage, that it wouldn't have been entertaining. And the second shows are always like, half full, first one full. So I literally got on my knees in the dressing room and begged God to keep her from coming to the show. I got on my knees and I went like this and I said, if you're up there, please don't let her come and see me.
Wow.
And then the guy knocks while the second show started. He goes, and I open the door. He goes, she's not coming, man. She called and she's not going to come after all.
Wow.
So cut to like 2 years later, I get a call and they said, hey, man, this producer's looking for a Latino, comedian and something. So everybody said, have you seen George Lopez? So this guy came to see me and he was working for Sandra, but I didn't know at the time. And then he saw me and he went away. And then I remember Ann said, did you talk to the guy? And I said, no, he left. A full calendar year later, the guy calls and he said, hey, are you still interested in this project that we have? And I'm like, what project? And we found out it was Sandra. So I went to Sandra's office during the day. I wasn't going to go. I was hitting golf balls at Whitsett. And I was supposed to be there at 1. I think my manager knew that I might flake out. So about 12:15, he calls me. He goes, are you on your way? And I said, man, I'm not going over there, man. He goes, what do you mean? I said, what's she going to do for me? What's Sandra Bullock going to do for me? And he goes, hey, listen, man. They called and they said, is he coming? They ordered food. With him, it was always food. They ordered food. You better go over there, man. You're not going to leave her hanging. So I left the balls there at a big bucket, left them there, told the guy, hey, man, you can have these if you want. And I drove over there. And we sat for like 3 hours. She said, tell me about your life. And, she was crying. She was laughing into my grandmother and everything, and she was writing it all down, had a writer assistant. And as we're walking down the stairs, she walked me out. And we got to she opened the door for me. And before I left, I looked at her and I said, hey, I don't know how this is going to end up. I don't know if I ever see you again, or I don't know anything. I just want to say thank you for thinking of me, and thank you for what we're going to try to do, whether it happens or not. Just thank you.
Right.
And she looked at me and she goes, I want you to worry about being funny, and I want you to let me worry about everything else. And I got in the car and I was like, wow, man. It's like nobody ever said anything like that to me. So in the midst of the next year, the president of Warner Brothers came to see me, and he was in. He's like, I'm in. And then where we're going to take the show. And then the president of ABC came to see me and sat next to the president of Warner Brothers at the Ice House. And I did 25 minutes, and I told the dude, give me the light at 20. And I was killing him, man. Killing him. And he gives me the light, and almost like a boxer that knows that if he gets to the end of the fight, that he's won. So I was digging in a little bit. Then I was kind of cruising at the end, and I knew what I had at the end. And when the light flicked on and off like that, it's like time. And I left, and the people were going crazy, man. And before I left the stage, before that guy got to me in my head, I thought, you just got yourself a television show. I didn't know.
Right.
And then the next day I flew to Houston, and I got picked up by this dude in a town car, and Bruce called me, and he goes, he did Drew Carey, he was my partner. And he said, are you sitting down? I'm like, just got in Houston. He goes, ABC called, and they want to do the show. Congratulations. I was like, wow, man. So we hung up, and I told the driver, hey, man, I just got a show on ABC. Dude didn't turn around. He didn't say congratulations. He didn't say. He
just kept driving.
Just kept driving. Didn't go, hey, good for you. Just kept driving. So that's how it came about. And then, it was that show was so real. Like in the early 80s, I got a DUI, and I got put in Foothill Jail, and I got taken to Van Nuys. It got arraigned. So when they take you on that sheriff's bus, I don't know if the sheriffs knew to pass by every place that was important to me in my life, but they passed by houses I used to go party at, houses that friends had, restaurants where I used to go, and I'm sitting there, I'm chained to some other dude, and I'm like, are these guys fucking, are they, is my grandmother driving this bus? They're going by my schools, they're going by my high school. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I'm on like a Starline tour. I'm like, man, this is getting depressing, man.
Farewell to her.
I said,
this is all the shit I used to do.
Oh, I said, this is depressing. So they throw you in the tank up there. They're getting ready to call you, and the door opens, and they bring in some guys with like the orange jumpsuits from county jail. So I'm sitting down, and I'm looking down, and then somebody sits next to me, and he's wearing those jail sandals, and I look down, and the guy's toes are painted red. And I'm like, this dude's got painted red toes. And I look up, and he's got blonde hair. He's a Latino guy, big guy, and he's got blonde hair, like a cross-dresser. And I look down, I'm like, oh, man. And the sheriff comes to the door, and he goes, Lopez. And I stood up, and I guess the dude's name was Lopez. And he stood up, and the sheriff goes, no, Mrs. Lopez. And I sat down, and the dude left. And I put that in the show, word for word. Like, I tried to keep it as real as I could. I used real names of my teachers.
Right.
But I don't think it gets any more real than that. We did that in that
Miss
episode.
Lopez.
Miss Lopez. Oh, man. Hilarious.
So the show was a hit. I mean, the George Lopez show, the Tonight Show.
Syndication was good. Yeah, syndication's
great.
still there, almost 20 years.
Yeah.
And then I was still married. I decided to take a year off. And then it was just tough to be home. I hadn't been home, in 10 years, So I got offered a chance to, do a talk show. So I did that for a couple of years. And in that, I got divorced. But, I made friends with my wife. I saw her yesterday, and ex-wife. And she goes, I just want us to be friends. I go, that's new. And but she's cool, man.
That's
and I didn't
good.
talk to her
That's
for a
good.
long time, but it was my fault that everything happened the way it happened.
Right.
But somehow, instead of being mad at myself, I became kind of mad at her. But that's all gone.
Yeah, that's something that's something that George and I have in common. So we did talk a little bit on that golf course about us going through divorces and things of that nature, and how we've kind of moved on. But I also want to ask you about the producing part that you gotten into.
Yeah.
You've done the stand up, and I also want to know, are you going to go back and do one more stand-up gig or anything like that?
I don't know, man.
I think that would be so cool.
With dementia running in the family, it's harder to remember that stuff. I did the Netflix special was the first one I had done not live, and I didn't like the way I like to do them live. But they're risky to do them live. But I thought, how can you make comedy harder? Is to not use water, not have a towel, and to do it live. But the older I get, 60. The older I get, I think it gets harder to remember the hour. And sometimes in a default, if you forget your place, you'll go back to stuff that you already had done. And live, you want to keep it, legit. So, but
I feel you there.
Yeah, but producing was new to me. And then, I just felt like, some guys want big parts. I just felt like, and I told my agents, like, hey, man, don't look at parts like big parts. Just look at parts as like good parts.
Right.
And then I started to do animation. And I remember the Beverly Hills Chihuahua, the first one, the first time I did any voice work, my agent said, all the good parts are taken, but if you want this part, it's 4 lines, $10,000. I said, 4 lines? So I said, I'm not sure. So she goes, I want to know if you're doing it. You're doing it. If not, they're going to move on. And I said, you know what? I'll do it. And I remember getting there 5 minutes late, and I meet this director, Raja Gosnell, and I look over, and Drew Barrymore's in there. And I'm like, what the fuck is Drew Barrymore doing in here? And I said, oh, she's the girl dog. So I'm like, are you ready to start? I'm like, yeah. And the first thing I did is I sang to Drew Barrymore in the movie The Dog's in Love with the Chloe, which is Drew Barrymore. And I had to sing to her. And the guy's like, there's not a song, so just, make it up. And
make it up on the fly.
I made it like my heart, you're my heart, my soul. And I'm like, if there's ever a time you need anybody to lick inside your ears or to, I would be most honored,
See, I'm forgetting you were a dog.
That's a dog. And after they go cut, and she put both hands on it. She goes, oh my God, that's so sweet. Oh my God. And that was the first time they'd ever heard that voice in that dog. And then when I was done, the director came outside and he goes, listen, man, we haven't shot like most of the movie yet. So would you be willing to come in and just you and I work on stuff? And as we film the dog, I'll make the stuff fit to the dog. And I said, absolutely. And because I didn't say no, it was only 4 lines. where I would have said no. That led to the 3 Beverly Hills Chihuahuas, the 2 Smurfs, the 2 Rios, Marmaduke, and Escape from Planet Earth. All of the movies came from that one seed. So, you know, as people want to be stars or want to be producers or want to be in the light, never say no, man, because a seed that small can bring you a tree, you know, with the proper care.
No, that's good advice, because like you said, you're turning down those small roles thinking there's something better and bigger is going to come along.
Everybody would have said no. Everybody would have said no to that. And I went.
That was cool. George, I want to go back, and we talked about this a little bit off the camera during our break, and I was telling you about the movie that you were in with Ty Diggs, and I couldn't remember the name, and it was
River Runs Red.
River Runs Red, where you had a much more serious part, you know, because everybody knows you as a comedian. Everybody knows, you know, your stand-up and the Lopez show, the Tonight Show. They all know that. But I don't know how many people, and I'm sure it was a lot, but I know for me, when I first saw that and saw you in that role, I was like, damn, because you were really good.
Yeah, thank you.
And how was that for you? Because, again, you're going from being a comedian to a very serious role. How was that for you?
You know, I did Balls of Fury like in 2007 with the Reno 911 guys, and I was pretty much like the straight guy, but just very calm, you know. And I thought, you know, in some dudes like Jim, you know, those guys that are bigger actors, like they're big. I wasn't a broad actor, you know. I was good at being just, you know, more deadpan. So when Wes Miller, that director, African American director, said, "I got something for you," and I said I'd already done a couple parts that were dramatic. And Tay was in that thing, and I was like, you know, I'll do it. Yeah, that's cool. And, you know, I had lost a friend to a police officer shooting. So if you look as an actor, like, what do you? I remember Ben Kingsley told me on my talk show that every experience that he's had, and he was neglected as a child. Like, he went into a bottle, you know, put all my bad experiences in the bottle, and whenever I need them, I open the bottle and I take one out. And then I put the cap back on and I save it for the next time. So he used all the experiences as in his life to make him the actor that he is, like the dramatic part. He would remember things, and I did that. You know, cried on cue. You know, by losing a child, and Tay had lost a child, and I had immediate chemistry with him. You know. And you know, my show had already been out forever. I mean, you know, so we're in Louisville, Kentucky. And we're shooting this scene in the car, and I'm driving, and the movie trailer's in front of us, and they're filming us. And he says, "So I want you guys to drive around, and you're looking for the police, like we're looking for the guys. We're going like a Western. We're going after these 2 police officers. So we're driving, and we're going under the bridge, and we're going around the town. And he goes, 'Keep going, guys. You're all right. Look around.' And we go under this underpass, and there's a homeless guy walking with a push cart and all his stuff, and he's got a hoodie over his head that's hanging like hair, and he's just pushing his cart. And as we drive under the underpass, he looks over, and as we pass him, he goes, 'George Lopez!' And when we stop, everybody gets out, and they come over to the car, and they go, 'Did that guy yell George Lopez?' And I go, 'He did. The homeless guy yelled your name. How did he know? How did he know it was you?' I go, 'I don't know. Maybe I got a TV in the cart. I don't know.' But I mean, of all, and it's never just George. It's always
George Lopez. Yeah.
And it's been pretty wild, man. But that, you know, in doing those dramatic parts, I did a thing, No Man's Land dramatic, and then River Runs Red, and then I did this one. Oh my God! So. You know, whether people believe in the universe, or they believe in karma, or if they believe in kindness, that's up to people. You know, that's up to the individual to decide.
Absolutely. So
I did this thing, man, like the world's greatest dog, like most amazing dog, for Facebook. And I was leaving, and everybody was like, "Why are you doing this thing, man?" I was like, you know, I don't know. It was Lisa Vanderpump. I wanted to hang out with Lisa Vanderpump. She's great. So when I'm leaving, this girl is there, and she's dressed kind of like a guy, and She's got a hat on, and she's got her brother with her. And I get in the SUV, and the window rolls up, and I look, and they're both standing there, but kind of like really kind of meek, you know. And I roll the window down, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, George Lopez? And I said, yeah. He goes, yeah. So I go, hang on. I get out of the car, and I talk to her, what are you guys doing? And she goes, oh, you know, I'm like a little filmmaker. I'm trying to make this film about my life, about coming out to my dad on my prom night. And, you know, I wrote it already. And it's funny, man, because my brother and I were just talking about you. Like, you would be the best person to play my dad. And then here you are. And I said, well, listen, I'll give you my number. I'll give you my email. And if you get to the point where you make this thing, I said, let me know. I'll be your father. I'll play your father. Mm-hmm. So about a year later, she called to have the money. And schedule-wise, they're trying to work out. So I went to this place in like Chatsworth, this house, and I played her dad in this little movie that got on HBO Max, and it got in the LA Film Festival.
Wow.
So you know, like 3 weeks ago, I got a call from my agent, and he said, hey man, I've been working on this thing for a couple of years, and it's starting to come together. So tomorrow at 1:30, I have a call set up for you and the director of this project. And he goes, there's no script, and it's very private, and nobody knows anything about it. But he wants to talk to you. So I said, all right. So the next day at 1:30, I call this dude, Latino guy, Angel Miguel Soto, I believe. And he's like, hey, brother, what's happening? I said, oh, good, man. What's going on? So we talk about our lives, talk about growing up. And he says to me, yeah, man, you know, I saw you in this little movie like you were a dad. And I thought, River Runs Red, you know. And he goes, no, about the girl that came out on her prom night. Oh, yeah, at last. I said, yeah. He goes, I saw you in that. He goes, I had a project, an animated project at the LA Film Festival, but I was going to see other shorts, and I saw you. And he goes, I cried. Like, I was like, oh my God. So the next day they made me an offer. So DC, you know, Marvel, DC is coming out with the first Latino superhero. So it's the producer, writer, and director are all Latinos. And that guy's the director of it. So he says, you know, there's no script. It's called The Blue Beetle. The kid from Cobra Kai is playing the Blue Beetle. So, you know, it's all very private. It was going to be on HBO Max only. And then Warner Brothers saw the script. They saw the people involved. So it has a release date of August 2023. So I got cast to be the uncle in the Blue Beetle. So I'm going to be the uncle in the Blue Beetle series, which nobody knows about yet.
Oh, wow. And that's going to be on Netflix, or is that going to be?
No, it's going to be released. It'll be a worldwide release.
Oh, wow.
Because it's DC. So when they sent the offer, there's an offer for one movie, and then under it, there's 10 more offers for other.
Wow. So you said the kid from Cobra Kai
is going to be the
Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm
That's
the
so
uncle.
cool.
And I'm the uncle in the Blue Beetle.
That is so cool, George.
Which is big, man. I mean, you know, I've had quite
cool.
a career, but to get involved in the DC universe is big. Batman.
Yeah.
And I think Batman is in our movie, but
yeah.
It's a big, big deal.
Yeah. DC got everybody.
And nobody knows
roles, man.
right now but you guys.
Well, there you go. See, that's what's happened when you're watching Off the Dribble with Byron Scott. You get stuff like this from George Lopez. You get the first of everything. You get it way before you even hit the presses. See, that's what it's all about. George, I mean, we talked about your producing. We talked about you as a comedian, drama, you know, just unbelievable actor, what you have meant to the Latino community. Yeah. How important is that to you?
I don't know if what I've meant to the Latino community. You know,
come on, man. Come on now. I mean, you know, all the things you've done. Come on now.
Well, I know what they've meant to me. And I think, you know, what they've meant to me is it might be the first family I ever had. Of all those people that come up to you and say, hey man, we saw you in this, or my daughter loves you, or if you look at YouTube, every time they play Lowrider, like a little kid is jumping up and down the bed like they know my face. Like this little kid was taking a walk and with his dad, and the kid's got to be 4 years old. And there's a van with my picture on it, and the little kid walks over, and his dad says, "Where you going?" And he goes over to the van, and he points at my picture, and he goes, "George Lopez." And the dad is like, how does this 4-year-old kid know who you are?
That's right, yeah.
And, you know, I was always mad at everything, and I was always just negative about myself and about my upbringing. But through just that one time in that day where you're down, I mean, you can only go down worse. But I decided to not worry about everybody else and worry about myself. And that was the day that I think everything, you know, if you go one day without wishing anybody ill, then makes the next day easier. So when I turned that page and went to being not the most positive person, but not wishing anybody any harm or any bad things to happen to them. And, you know, I had grown up around Buddhist temples, you know, my whole life. And then I met the Dalai Lama like in 2012 or 10. And then I spoke at his 80th birthday party. So those guys and that thing really helped me just, you know, since I cussed in church, I don't think I was welcome back. So I think that, you know, just the principles of being kind really made kind of the universe spin my way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had another question for you, though. And you, we're the same age. So you grew up in the hood like I did. And at our time, you know, there was a whole lot of gangs.
Ooh.
Crips and Bloods, the Essays, Sunshine Crips, the Pyrus, you know. How did you avoid? I know how I did. You know, obviously you did as well with laughter and things of that nature.
But did they leave you alone because you could ball?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean the reason the Crips and Blood would leave me alone when I was in high school, I would be coming home and they would stop us, you know, because we always traveled like 6 or 7 of them anyway because we wanted to make sure we protected ourselves.
Right.
But when they would jump out the car and surround you,
man,
you know, it's 6 of us, 12, 13 of them, and then they would be one person be like, "Oh, that's that kid from Morningside High,
man.
You know, that plays ball. No, they good, you know, and they would leave us alone."
Yeah.
So in your situation, I know you had to avoid the gangs as well. How did you do that?
You know, man, you know, my grandfather never really, I don't think he hit me. I think it's more mental. You know, he made me more afraid of him than of being in gangs. But the guys that I grew up with started in high school. They started to go a little sideways, man. They would leave school and go do home invasions, like they'd break into houses. And they would come back to school and they would have, you know, chains or money or necklaces and
all
stuff.
the shit they stole, basically.
And all the shit they stole. And they would be like, "You want some of this shit?" I'm like, no, I'm good, man. You know, I'm good. And then those guys ended up getting caught. And then other guys would beat up. I remember one time, man, there was a kid and his dad playing in the park, and those guys were throwing a football around. And then they were going to have a meeting, and they asked me to leave because I wasn't with those guys. And those guys I grew up with. And they ended up beating up that guy in front of his kid. And that's when I was like, these dudes, man, that's just bad, you know. And I didn't have a father, so you know, it meant a lot. And then those guys, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna gradually cut these cats out, you know, and just I played baseball, but they were always around, and they'd always try to get you to go leave school. No, I'm good, man. You know, I gotta do my thing, man. I got, you know, however, but I decided, you know, it wasn't my grandfather's, you know, upbringing that I just decided for myself that I didn't want to go that way. You know, I could have,
of course,
but I wasn't that type of guy, and I already was into comedy and all that stuff. So I decided to let them have that, and you know, and go on and do my thing. But the thing when I got back home and my grandfather was there, he would belittle me for like leaving and coming back early. What happened? Those guys kicked you out. They didn't want you around. Huh? Is that what happened? But when I was 14, we had this dance, and a lot of the girls from school were going, and then I was dressed in the best clothes that I had. Right. And then this guy said to me in front of everybody, "I thought we were supposed to dress up." And man, it broke my heart, man. And I went home and I got in my room and I said, if I grow up and if I make anything of myself, Nobody's going to ever make fun of me for the things that I'm wearing. And yeah, I've done it.
Yeah, no, you've done it and some.
Yeah.
So George, what are some of the things that you're working on or doing right now that we got to be looking out for?
Yeah, right now we're getting ready to shoot a pilot with my real daughter Mayan.
Oh wow, that's cool.
For NBC, and Bruce Alford, my original creator. They're excited about this thing called Lopez versus Lopez, like court papers.
Oh yeah.
And
is that how you came up with the name?
Man,
Lopez versus Lopez.
Divorce. Oh, great. You mean where I lost half my money? Yeah, sure. I think that's funny.
Yeah, let's go back to that, right?
My wife gave me a kidney and I left her. Yeah, why not? But that's one. And then, I have restaurants and beer and tequila coming out. And
what's the tequila? What's the name of the tequila?
Chicano. With the X.
Yes.
Hand bottled.
I'll be looking for that.
Hand bottled in Mexico. And the bottle is unique. It's so unique, it doesn't fit on the machines in Mexico. And Mexico, everything fits on a machine in Mexico. They're like, they have to hand pour on the ladies because it doesn't fit. That's beautiful, nice. I've been working on it for probably about 4 years. And then I have a children's book.
Oh, wow.
Called Chupacabra Carter. And it's about a kid growing up and looking in the moon and trying to decide where his future is going to be. And then he befriends a kid that looks like the Chupacabra, and they grow up, and he's looking for his family, and that's getting ready to come out too. And that's a good book. We're well written. I think the kids will like it. I think it'll be a hit.
Good. I got 2 granddaughters, or I got 4 granddaughters.
They'll love it, man. Very drawn very well.
Get it and read it to them. And the restaurants are doing extremely well. I know that.
Good. Yep. Opening
you had
some
the
more.
one in Manhattan Beach, or
got the one in Hermosa,
yep.
And then I think they're going to open one in the Stratosphere in Vegas, and then there's one going up in some casinos around the country. So, everything's good,
man. Listen, guys, I want to thank my boy George Lopez for coming by today. Look out for the movie later on, because again, like he just said, we the only one know about that right now. This is something that hasn't been talked about yet, but when it comes out, check it out. George Lopez, my boy, my golf buddy, my drinking buddy,
my man.
Woo, my man. I want to thank you again, G.
I love
you, brother. Love you too, guys. This is another episode of Off the Dribble with your boy Byron Scott. Wait for the next one. Check us out. And you can always go on and subscribe. We're on YouTube, and anything you can find that does podcasts, we are on it. So check us out. And we are out with my boy George Lopez. Until the next time, guys. Peace.
All right, man, it's time to bring out my homeboy. He really is my homeboy. He's from my hometown, San Fernando, California. I know you've seen him on TV a lot of times, man. I've watched him grow and grow and grow, and now he has arrived. Would you please welcome my homeboy, George Lopez?
La cosa que quiero decir. Thank you. First, I'd like to say, I must have hit the SAP button by mistake. Let me translate. Gracias a venir al show, este pinche pueblo de güeros, cabrones que se dan las nalgas, pinches gringos, cabrones que se van a la chinga. I want to thank you all so much for coming out tonight and supporting Latino comedy. Thank you so much. I want to thank my man Cheech Marin and Paul Rodriguez for having me on the show. Pinche güeros que se van para atrás a sus trailer parks, hijo de sus chingas. And I realize that there are problems within our communities, and I know that one day, through patience and understanding, we can bridge the gaps. Y si no, cabrones, que me mamen la verga, pinches güeros, cabrones. And we can allow the healing to begin. All right! Look at the people that don't speak Spanish. What's going on? What's he talking about, Reed? I don't know. Let me greet you with the Mexican hello. That's how we say hello. Hey, George, I want you to meet my family. Oh, shit. Don't forget your cousin in the wheelchair. Because all Mexican families have a relative in the wheelchair. If you don't have one, let me know. I'll get you one. And it's never a good wheelchair. Todo rompido, anda todo. And somebody has to push him. He can't push himself, your grandma. Push your cousin. Push your cabrón. Push your cousin. You should be happy your legs work, cabrón. Push your cousin. That's how we say hello. Somebody we haven't seen in 20 years. And it's never happy. Not, hey, long time no see. Mexican, where you been, puto? Push it, my cousin. Somebody's far away? How come you didn't say hi to me? Fuck, I went like that. You turned away before I came back up as the way. Wait for me, man, wait for me. Because that's the way we are. We grow up so insecure, it's always wait for me. You forget something? Oh shit, I forgot my jacket. Hey, wait for me. Not, I'll be right back. Hey, I got my keys in there. Wait for me, man. Don't wait for me. Why are we like that? Because when you're a little kid, you have to go pee. What does your mom say? Hurry up, cabrón, because we're not gonna wait for you. Mr. Pee-Pee, chingas, man, let's go. You ever have that crazy aunt that whenever she drinks, they pee anywhere? Todo borracha, mijo, ¿dónde está el baño? Right there, by the time you turn around, she's already down. Tápame, tápame, tápame. ¡Ay! Ese salió con premio. And what do? They're so fucked up they tuck their dress in the pantyhose. ¡Ay! Pinche bailando en la noche, ¿eh? Ay, mira, Rafi, everyone's looking at me. Ay. And nobody says anything. Mira, tía, tiene el vestido ahí. Leave her like that. That way she learns. Everything that happens to us is so we'll learn. You get hit, cabrón. Sit right there. That way you'll learn. Siéntate. And we're always all right. We're so afraid of making trouble. We're always all right. You can get hit by a car. Bam! Oh my God, are you all right? I'm all right. Don't fucking huerco in the front yard. Ay. I'm all right, señora. No, estoy bien. They're gonna run my social security number. I'm all right. And what are we always doing? Nothing. What are we? Hey, what are you doing over there? Nothing. We're never doing nothing. Hey, what'd you do this weekend? Nothing. Latinos are direct opposites of everybody else. Some people are happy to see other people. They wave them over. Oh my God! Look, everyone, it's Duncan. Duncan! Oh my God!
We're totally over here. Duncan! You're 9 feet away, they call you on the cell phone. Oh my God! I'm totally right here. Latinos are never happy. We look, oh fuck, look who's over there, man. Son of a bitch. Hide the chair, hide the chair, hide the chair, hide the chair. Don't look over there, don't look over there, don't look over there. Pretend we're talking, cabrón, pretend we're talking. Look at my face, cabrón, pretend we're talking. He saw me? Shit, he saw me? Liar, say swear to God, swear to God. Swear to God. Come on in, you saw me. Fucking might as well. We're different people. Some people won't wait in line. They'll see a line, oh God, there is a line. Mexican won't wait in line, we don't even know what the line's for. Mira la línea, chinga su madre. Go get in line, go get in line. And once you get in, you let everyone in. Tia, písale, cabrona. They're not gonna get you, come on. Different people. We're not happy for anybody. A true Latino is never happy when other people do well. Our first instinct is negative. Did you hear Ruben got a job at the hospital? The marijuana? Órale. Pinche marijuana working at the hospital. Shit. I'm gonna call up, watch. Hello, hospital? Ruben's a marijuana over. That way he'll learn. My grandmother, I learned from my grandma. My grandma, 82 years old. Everything she says is negative. Everything. Grandma, you hear about Maria? What? That she's pregnant? No, she's getting married. Like I said. With blue eyeshadow. So you can see it, they keep their eyes closed. Are you gonna go to the wedding? I went to the first 3. Nada más puta que la chinga. She got 4 kids getting married in a white dress. Está loca la cabrona, white dress. No, hombre. A white dress, mira that white dress. She should get married in a white dress with black sleeves. And a hole in the front para acabarle chingar. But tell her I said hi. Bring me a plate. That's all I want. We never say congratulations. You ever see people, man, that are happy for other people? Oh God, you're awesome. Congratulations. You rock. We never say congratulations. What do we say? Oh, so now I think you're up bad or what? ¿Te crees muy chingón? We'll still kick your ass. Now go to the Hallmark store and look for that card. Can I help you, sir? Yeah, you don't have a I think you're up bad card? Liar, say swear to God. Swear to God. How about a you ain't shit balloon? You don't have one of those? Shit, you guys don't have nothing here. We need our own greeting cards. We need Mexicano greeting cards because the ones at the stores are too happy. We don't understand that. You need one that says, heard about your new job. You open it up. Don't fuck it up like the last time. We're tough from the time we're kids. You get that tough love. Little babies cry, the mothers run over. Oh my God, Caitlin, are you all right? Us. Mira, there he goes. Chille, chille, no me chingues el bebé. Hombre, let him cry, mija, let him cry. It's good for his lungs. Let him cry. Let him cry. Turn the music up. I don't need to hear this shit. Turn that music. Then they go pick you up. Don't pick him up. Don't pick him up. He's gonna get used to it. Don't pick him up. No, but now you fucked him up. No, now he's gonna want you to hold him and change him. No, hombre. You may as well have another one because you messed that one up. Different people. We trick you into helping. We wait till you sit down. Ruben, what are you doing right now? Right now, I'm not doing nothing. Help me fix my truck. I gotta pull the transmission out and put a new one in. Oh, you mean right now, right now? Yeah. I can't do it right now, right now. When? Shit, probably later. Later. But not right now, right now. You should have told me before. Old school, we're always late. We're late because none of the clocks work in our houses. They all need batteries. The TV is the clock. It's always on. Grandma, when do you take your medicine? Cuando se acaba la Judge Judy, I take my pill. We don't have clocks in the house. All we have is calendars from every panaderia we've ever been to. On the walls, every wall. And it's the same picture, the Aztec dude and the dead lady. And your grandma doesn't want to take it down. That reminds me of me when I was young. Porque me gustaba pisquear, and they used to bring me home like that, barefoot, with a flower in my hair. Toda encuerada. I never had a water hose at my house that had the metal end. You know? It was always cut and cut. The minute it had a hole over here, they cut. Córtalo, cabrón. Pinche hose was this long. I wanted a nozzle. My grandpa like, you got a thumb, you got a nozzle. Mira. How do I turn it off? Pinch it, mira. Off. On. Chinga su madre, mira. Pinch it. Off. On. Pégale. Off. I didn't have swim trunks. I used to cut pants. You ever used to cut pants? Hey, if you want to go swimming, cut pants. Then you find the scissors and some old pants. Are we going for reals? For reals. Because if I cut, I can't cut back. For reals? Say swear to God. Swear to God. Or you used to go swimming in your underwear, the tantarans. Remember the tantaran? The white briefs, tantaran. You'd run around the house with a towel and a clothespin. Tantaran. And your mom still thinks you're the tantaran boy. You're 34 years old. Todo borracha la cabrón. Mijo, tú the tantaran. Do the tantaran. With feeling, cabrón. I don't believe you. Tantaran. Mira, te salió un huevo, cabrón. Por ahí. Oh my God, cochino. With un huevo salido, popped out. Mira, put it back in. And when did you get hair, cochino? We never believe when anybody's sick. And when they are sick, they never go to the doctor. Man, I feel bad. I should go to the doctor. Shit, you better not go. 'Cause they're gonna find something wrong with you. Don't go. If I were you, I wouldn't go. Drink a 7-Up, you'll be all right. Tómate un 7. Drink a 7-Up. And burp it out. Mira, chingate todo el bote. Y luego... Y sale el cáncer con el burp, mira. Pon el lemon, pon el limón y luego chingate. We drink too much. We drink to get drunk. Then we call women up in the middle of the night. Hey, 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 hey. What are you doing? Sleeping? Cochina. Let me come over. Right now, right now. Hey, hey, what are your chichis doing? If you let me come over, I'll go down there. No, this time for reals. Because you're a cochina. You liked it. You liked it. You liked it. You liked it. When you got on top and you were moving the... Oh, I'm sorry, senora. Is Gloria there? Different people. We've taken over the country. If you go to any fast food restaurant, it's all Latinos that work there. You have to be bilingual to get a hamburger. You ever go to Jack in the Box and the voice that comes out of the speaker has a Mexican accent? What the Jack in the Box? Can I take your order? The fuck's going on in there? Welcome to Jack in the Box. Can I take your order? ¿Quiere algo, cabrón? You want sunshine? Is this Jack in the Box? Yes, can I have a jumbo jack? You want a jumbo yak? ¿Quieres sheet? You want sheet? ¿Quieres queso? You want sheet? I better not. ¿Quieres papa frita? You want french fry? Papa frita? No papa fritas, thanks. Then they lose everybody in Jack in the Box. What kind of fountain drinks do you have? What kind of fountain drinks do you have? ¿Qué? Fountain drinks. 1 minute, please. Ramón, este vato me está diciendo fountain drink. ¿Qué es eso? Este pinche mamón en la ventana me está diciendo fountain drink, muy chingón. ¿Qué? ¿Es soda? ¿Es soda? ¿Es soda? Míralo, cabrón. Hey, why you not say soda, stupid? Sí, tenemos soda, tenemos Coca, tenemos Pepsi, Sprite, Mr. Pip. Then they got all the Mexicans. Jamaica, tamarindo, chaparrada, horchata. I don't want to know who works there, fucker. I want something to drink. We do everything by memory. All Latinos. It's all memory. Remember that time we went? You remember? You don't remember? You got drunk and you threw up outside? You don't remember? You remember? We don't have pictures. We take pictures. We just never developed the film. They just hold up the film. Mira, these are when you were little. Dice Fuchi. But things are changing. Things get better. What's happening now is a lot of Latinas are raising little kids. You know, there's a Latino in every home, whether you live there or you work there. They come in and raise these kids for these ladies that want to work. There was always somebody in our house raising us, so they raise their kids and they raise other kids, little white kids that are going to understand Latinos because they're going to have brown hearts, because the person that's spending all the time with them, Socorro, is teaching them. And they're going to speak Spanish. Austin, bájate de ahí, cabrón, bájate. Oh. Con permiso, Socorro. And when they fall, they're gonna get what we got when we fell. Mira, go to the top, cabrón, and fall all the way down. So you can break your head wide open. Súbale, súbale. And when that mother tries to discipline her kid, it's not gonna work because she's not there. She's gonna come home, come here this instant. I didn't even do nothing. You come here right now. Right now, right now. And when that kid walks for the first time and talks for the first time, that mother's not gonna be there, Socorro's gonna be there. She's gonna have to hear about it that day. Señora, mira, today that baby estaba walking. I'm sorry, no Nintendo. Mira, el bebé, Austin, estaba walking, mira, walking. Y también talking, mira, pic, pic. Oh my God! Austin was walking and talking. Te estoy diciendo, cabrona, que estaba andando y estaba hablando. Did you get the video camera? Did you videotape it? Shit, what for? I'll remember. Gracias. I love you guys. Cuídense. Thank you very much. I love you. Gracias.
George Lopez. George Lopez, ladies and gentlemen.
Xin chào các bạn, mình tu một cái kênh này nha. lên mình đã hoàn thành một cái bức tranh nha các bạn. Bye bye.